Yo, welcome back to Eat, Sleep, Breathe Hoops with your boy, Nikki P. Y'all know who it is, man. And y'all saw the thumbnail once again. Yep, we about to jump into the worst looking, the ugliest jumpers of all time, man. Some of them effective, some of them not so much, but all of them still ugly. Let's get into it, man. Basketball is a game of beauty, fluid footwork, smooth handles, and the sweet release of a perfect jump shot. But every now and then, we're reminded that effectiveness doesn't always come wrapped in a pretty package. Today, we're diving into a side of basketball that's less about grace and more about grit. The worst looking, ugliest jump shots in NBA history. These are the jumpers that make coaches wince, kids imitate for laughs, and defenders pause in confusion. Yet for some of these players, the shot still went in. Let's count down the top 5 ugliest jump shots of all time, honoring each player's unique mechanics, background, and the surprising efficiency or lack thereof behind their form. And then we may even jump into a couple honorable mentions too. Starting with number 5, that boy Kevin Martin. I'm sure some of y'all remember him. He was a hell of a player back in the day. Kevin Martin's shot looked like he was late to a contest and had to rush his form on every attempt. His release came from his right hip, and he launched the ball from his shoulder like he was pushing it across his body. His jumper was a slingshot, pure and simple. Despite the unorthodox form, Martin was a career 38% three-point shooter and averaged 17.4 points per game over the course of his career, which really doesn't do justice to how great of a scorer he was, because he definitely had some seasons, 20 plus, 25 plus for sure. His ability to get the ball off quickly, even if it looked like he was handing the ball to the rim, made him a consistent scoring threat. Martin developed this shot early in his life. He grew up in Zanesville, Ohio, and didn't have access to a traditional coach early on. So like many kids, he developed his jumper by trial and error. The result was a quirky form that stayed with him into adulthood. He never fixed it because, frankly, it worked for him and it didn't need fixing, similar to Reggie Miller's jump shot. Ugly? Absolutely. Effective? Unquestionably. And number 4, let's get into that boy Shawn Marion. I know y'all remember him, the Matrix. Shawn Marion's jumper looked like a chest pass to the rim. His release point was in front of his face, and it was almost like he was afraid to shoot from above his head, just quickly slinging that thing and just dang near almost darting it at the rim. The Matrix had a lightning quick two-handed release that looked more like a middle school shooter's warm-up than an NBA level jump shot. What made Marion unique was that he didn't care how it looked. He wasn't trying to get style points, he just wanted results. He never shot higher than 35% from 3 in the season, but he was still a capable three-point shooter and still managed to contribute offensively because of his athleticism, IQ, and confidence and mechanics he trusted. And he had a decent mid-range jumper as well. Marion's form came from necessity. He worked on a quicker release to offset his lower release point and help him get shots off in traffic. While it would never be featured in a shooting clinic, it helped him win a championship and make 4 All-Star teams. That's a resume most smooth shooters would envy. Number 3, a dude's career who was kind of short-lived, if y'all remember him, Michael Kidd Gilchrist. Now we're starting to get into the true "how did this happen" territory. Michael Kidd Gilchrist, that's almost a tongue twister right there. Michael Kidd Gilchrist's jump shot looked like a glitch in a video game. His elbow flared to one side and his head tilted away from the basket as he released the ball. It was like he was scared of his own follow-through. MKG came into the league as a number 2 overall pick in 2012, praised for his defense and athleticism, but his shot was his Achilles heel. Coaches tried everything to fix it, but even after years of rebuilding his form, the new version still didn't quite click. He shot just 27% from 3 for his career and never averaged more than 12.1 points per game in a season. So how did it get this bad? Kidd Gilchrist had a speech disorder and mechanical issues from a young age, which translated into his shooting form. The rhythm of his body was off, and he never quite found consistency. Even with intense effort to change, muscle memory often wins, and his original form always seemed to creep back in. Diving into number 2, that boy Markelle Fultz. Man, Markelle Fultz had one of the strangest and saddest transformations of a jumper in NBA history. Coming out of Washington, he was the consensus #1 overall pick in 2017. His jumper in college was clean, smooth, confident, and NBA ready. But something happened between college and the pros. Fultz developed a shoulder injury, specifically thoracic outlet syndrome, that threw off his mechanics and mentally wrecked his confidence to shreds. Suddenly, his once fluent stroke turned into a jerky, hesitant, robotic, glitchy mess. His shot had more hitches than a trailer park. For 2 years, he looked like a player trying to relearn how to shoot, trying to relearn just how to play basketball in general. Mid-air pump fakes, double clutches, and floaters in place of jumpers. It was sad to watch. But in recent years, Fultz had rebuilt his game by focusing on mid-range shots and drives, slowly recovering some of his form and swagger. Fultz's story is a reminder that mental health and physical injuries can destroy muscle memory. His shot wasn't always broken. It became that way because of circumstance. His case was less about mechanics and more about trauma. And getting into #1, Yokim Noah. And finally, the king of the busted jump shot, Yokim Noah. His release looked like, shout out to him, he was a defensive, player of the year, but shooting wasn't his forte. His release looked like he was volleying a beach ball underhanded. It was a two-handed push shot with a backward spin, like he was swatting a mosquito off his forehead or something. The follow-through was non-existent, and his offhand was doing way too much work. Noah never pretended to be a shooter. He was a hustle player, a tenacious defender, and a two-time All-Star. But anytime he launched a jumper, the arena collectively gasped. His free throws hovered around 70%, which ain't bad for a big, but his overall shooting from mid-range was consistently beyond average and subpar. Noah's form likely developed because he wasn't groomed to be an offensive player. He focused on rebounding, defense, and passing, even in his college days in Florida over there with Al Horford. His awkward release just stuck with him, and no coach wanted to mess with the few offensive tools he had, since he did everything else at an elite level. But as far as aesthetics go, no question, Noah's jumper is the ugliest jumper in NBA history. And let's get into a few honorable mentions, man. At least one real quick. That boy Bill Cartwright from the Chicago Bulls back in the day. Let's take a moment to honor the old school legend of the broken jumper he had. And he was a good player, so we ain't just clowning him, but he did have a broken jumper. His form was bizarre. He brought the ball above his head, then paused like he was scanning the crowd for help, then launched it from his forehead with stiff arms, like a crane lowering a wrecking ball. Cartwright was a really solid player, even making an All-Star team in 1980 and winning multiple titles with the Bulls. But his shot looked like he was trying to signal air traffic. It works for free throws. He shot 77%, but in motion, it was slow, awkward, and always off balance. So what can we learn from this parade of busted jumpers? It's simple. Form isn't everything. Sure, good mechanics help with repeatability and consistency, but confidence and work ethic can turn even the ugliest shots into buckets. Kevin Martin and Shawn Marion didn't win beauty contests, but they scored thousands of points throughout their careers. Fultz is slowly regaining his rhythm, and Yokim Noah still carved out a successful career despite never being able to shoot. The truth is, repetition builds trust and confidence. If you shoot it enough, you start to believe in it. And if you believe in it, defenders have to respect it. The great shooters aren't always born with perfect mechanics. They just put in the time, refined what worked for them, and shot with confidence. In the end, it doesn't matter if you shoot like Ray Allen or Yokim Noah, as long as the ball goes in and through that net at the end of the day. Because basketball, at its core, is about results and not style. Once again, thank you for tapping in to Eat, Sleep, Breathe, Hoops with your boy, Nikki P. I appreciate y'all, man. Let's continue to grow this channel. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Go ahead and comment. Let me know any players that come to mind for y'all that had just busted, broke jumpers that need to be on this list, or at least make it to the honorable mentions. Let's converse and chop it up. Hop up in that comment section, and I'll be back with another one soon. Until then, peace.